The night was long, and the city lights of Karachi shimmered through the glass windows of the grand restaurant Royal Dine. Inside, waiters moved swiftly, smiles plastered on tired faces. Among them was Arham, a 23-year-old with dreams far bigger than his payslip. His uniform was clean but faded, his shoes worn, and his eyes, tired yet determined. He wasn't just serving food. He was serving his dream of a better life. Every night, after wiping the last table and collecting leftover crumbs, he'd step outside, look up at the tall buildings, and whisper to himself, "One day, I'll own something bigger than this restaurant. One day, I'll be the one sitting on the other side of the table." But that dream felt impossibly far away. Arham's father had passed away when he was just 16. His mother, a seamstress, worked day and night just to keep the lights on. Arham had left college halfway because bills came before books. Every rupee he earned as a waiter went into rent, medicine, and helping his younger sister finish her schooling. And yet, no matter how hard he worked, it felt like life kept reminding him, "You don't belong among the rich." One Friday evening, the restaurant was packed with laughter, perfume, and the clinking of glasses. At one of the corner tables sat a group of young men in suits, wealthy, confident, loud. Among them was Danish, Arham's old classmate from college. Back then, Arham had topped the class. Danish had barely passed, but now, life had flipped the script. When Danish saw Arham in that waiter's uniform, his grin widened cruelly. "Arham, is that you?" He laughed, nudging his friends. "Bro, you were supposed to be a genius. What happened? From class topper to table cleaner." The group burst out laughing. Arham smiled faintly, forcing humility into his trembling hands. "Just doing what I can, Danish." "Oh, come on," Danish said mockingly, tossing a 100-rupee note on the floor. "Here, maybe this helps you dream a little bigger." The laughter echoed like glass breaking inside Arham's chest. That night, he walked home in silence. But when he reached his small one-room apartment, he didn't cry. He opened his old notebook, the one where he used to write his goals. He tore out the page that said "Finished degree" and wrote something new. Start a business. Any business. For weeks, Arham saved every spare rupee he could, skipping meals, walking instead of taking buses, and collecting tips carefully folded in an old wallet. One day, he overheard two businessmen at a table discussing a supply problem. Their restaurant couldn't get fresh organic vegetables consistently. That night, an idea sparked in Arham's mind. What if he became the one supplying them? He didn't have land, a truck, or connections, but he had something stronger, desperation mixed with determination. Arham borrowed 10,000 rupees from his mother's savings and started waking up before dawn to visit local farmers. He built trust, promised fair payments, and personally delivered small batches of fresh vegetables to local cafes and restaurants before going to his waiter job. At first, nobody cared. Some even laughed. But Arham didn't stop. He worked double shifts, waiter by night, deliverman by dawn. Months passed. Orders grew. Slowly, restaurants started calling him first instead of their old suppliers. His quality, honesty, and punctuality stood out. Then came the turning point. One morning, a popular restaurant chain owner noticed how consistent Arham's deliveries were. "You're the guy who never misses a day, right?" the man asked. "Yes, sir," Arham replied, exhausted but polite. The owner smiled. "I like your work ethic. How about supplying all 7 of our branches?" That deal changed everything. Arham quit his waiter job and registered his first company, Pure Leaf Organics. He bought a second-hand van, hired 2 helpers, and started expanding beyond vegetables into dairy, poultry, and dry foods. But success didn't come smoothly. Competitors sabotaged him, clients delayed payments, and his mother fell seriously ill. There were nights he almost gave up, nights when the bills outnumbered his hopes. Yet every time he felt lost, he remembered Danish's laughter. He remembered that 100-rupee note on the floor, and that pain became fuel. Within 5 years, Pure Leaf Organics had become one of the leading organic food suppliers in Pakistan. Arham's name started appearing in business articles. He reinvested every profit into expanding farms, processing units, export deals. At 29, he bought the very restaurant he once worked in as a waiter, the same Royal Dine that had witnessed his humiliation. When he walked in as the new owner, wearing a tailored suit, The same manager who once scolded him for being late stood speechless. Arham smiled and said, "Don't worry, sir. You did your job back then. Now, it's my turn to serve." He didn't fire anyone. He raised salaries, offered health benefits, and treated every worker with the dignity he never received. Because he knew, true success isn't about revenge. It's about rising above. Years later, during a charity gala, Arham saw a familiar face in the crowd. It was Danish, no longer arrogant. His company had gone bankrupt. He walked up, hesitated, and said quietly, "Arham, you made it. I'm proud of you." Arham smiled. "We all have our paths, Danish. Sometimes failure is the best teacher." He handed Danish a card. "Come see me next week. I might have a position that fits your skills." Danish looked stunned. "You'd hire me?" Arham nodded. "People gave me a chance when I had nothing. It's my turn to give one."